So the first lift that we're going to look at today is a hang clean. The reason that I've chosen this based on a needs performance of rugby union athletes is that it's a power movement and it focuses on triple extension. The key reason that I've gone for a hang clean rather than a full clean is the hang clean takes you through less range, and the Olympic variations are very difficult and very specialist exercises, and some athletes, even at the advanced level, might not have the hip, knee and ankle range of motion that we need to get into at the bottom of that first pull. There's also been a lot of information from sports scientists like Tim Sukumul and Paul Comfort that have come back saying that lifting derivatives of Olympic lifts, such as a hanging high pull and a hang clean, can be just as effective and get the same load through the athletes as a full Olympic lift like a clean from the floor, without actually having that specialist Olympic ability. Primarily it's about the athlete in their chosen sport and getting as much transfer as possible, and so that's why I've gone for the hang clean. Secondly, for the athlete, we always start with why. We want the sports transfer and we want them to buy in. So the movement is centered around power and triple extension, and for rugby union athletes, we know that triple extension is going to help them in a leap, a jump, taking off in that sprint position. We know that we're getting that triple extension through our sprinting motion, and that it's a really critical motion for rugby union athletes. So that's the why for athletes. Now we're going to go through a coaching breakdown. We're going to go through the full setup for a coaching breakdown of how to coach this lift. Then we're going to end up with 3 cues, and then I'll demonstrate the lift. So for our first part of the setup, a hang clean is going to be from a rack position. And so we're going to start in our rack, feet shoulder width apart, taking the bar off the rack. Arms are about just wider than feet shoulder width apart. And the first thing we're going to do is drop that bar down to kneecap line, sending our bums backwards, so side on, sending our bums backwards at that kneecap line. Now I'm going to set myself by locking my lats on. My shoulders are going to go back, but my shoulders are still over that bar line. First part of the movement, I'm going to vigorously raise my shoulders, keeping the bar in contact with my thighs as much as possible. And then that first critical key cue, brushing the hips with the bar as they come through. And if you can see that, coming into triple extension, where I'm going through extension through my ankle joint, my knee joint, and my hip joint. From there, I'm going to shrug the shoulders up, pulling the bar close to my body the entire time, allowing my elbows to flex to the sides. When I get to chest height, what I want to do is aggressively pull my body under the bar. At the same time, I'm driving those elbows through and forward, pretending there's a pane of glass in front of me. I'm going to smash through that pane of glass by getting aggressively under the bar, catching it on my shoulders, and coming up into a nice stable front squat position. So the 3 cues that we end up with out of that lift is at the start, we're at the bar on the kneecap line, lats are locked on, shoulders over the bar. Cue number 2, hips brush the bar mid-lift, hips brush the bar. And number 3, drive your elbows through, break that glass. Drive your elbows through, break that glass.